create anything based on the choices that you make. Okay? And you can do this regardless of your circumstances. So this doesn't matter, what color your skin is. It doesn't matter what anybody's told you you can or cannot do. You can do anything. And I want to share with you kind of my story, my life, and how I got to where I am today. Guys, this is me. In prison. In 2007. I am an ex-drug dealer, an ex-gang member, and an ex-convict. Okay, at the age of 16, some of you guys are getting your licenses, that's when I started selling drugs. At the age of 17, I joined a gang. I was a full-time gangster. At the age of 18, don't worry, no gang banging in here, we're all good. At the age of 18, I was, for the very first time, I was arrested and I was raided by the police. Okay, and I spent the night, my very first night in jail. By the time I was 24, guys, I was in and out of jail. I was raided by the police 3 times. I'm convicted of 2 felonies. I was in and out of jail multiple times, and I served my first prison term. Okay, you might be wondering, well, what happened? Did you come from a bad childhood, bad neighborhood? What happened? No, actually, quite the opposite. I'm actually a friendly felon here. I'm pretty nice, I'm pretty friendly if you get to know me. I actually come from a good family. My parents, loving, supportive, just like many of your parents are. My parents, my mom, she always told me I had a good heart, that I was going to do great things. My dad was a man of respect, a man of principle, a man of his word. And they actually valued education very highly. My dad graduated from MIT. My mom went to the University of Taiwan, which is like the best school in Taiwan. Okay? And another man I want to introduce you to is my grandfather, who passed away in 2009. And not a lot of people know this, but he is actually a war hero. Back during World War II, Pearl Harbor. You guys familiar with Pearl Harbor? It's when the Japanese attacked America, Hawaii, devastated. Right? Well, America wanted to retaliate. And what they did was they asked 80 brave volunteers to go on a secret mission to go bomb Tokyo, Japan. And these 80 brave men, they said yes. And they were led by a man by the name of Lieutenant James Harold Doolittle. And they were known as the Doolittle Raiders. They went out, they bombed Japan. The problem was, they had one little problem. They ran out of fuel. So when that happened, they actually crash landed in China. And parts of China were owned by the Japanese at the time. And some of these guys, they got caught by the Japanese and were held as prisoners of war. Others were executed. But for the majority of them that crash landed here, they were actually found by the Chinese military. And my grandpa happened to be in the area and he spoke English. And he found these guys and basically hid them from the Japanese and smuggled them back to America. So yes, this man right here was a war hero. Okay? But I didn't know him like that. Because they would, every year after the war, they would celebrate. And it'd be big. They'd have lines. We'd go to like Mississippi and Missouri, and there'd be lines of people wanting autographs, taking pictures with my grandpa, and I didn't know why. Because I just knew my grandpa as Ye, which is grandpa in Chinese. And, what my grandfather taught me was the importance of family. How important is your family to you? Is it important? Raise your hand if your family is important to you. Right? He taught me about family. He was like the glue to our family. You know how you have that one person, it's an uncle, aunt, maybe it's your mom or your dad who brings everyone together every Christmas, every Thanksgiving. That's who he was to us. And that's what I remember him by. This is me. As a kid, I always wanted to be some sort of rock star, right? Some sort of actor, entertainer. The truth is, it wasn't for the fame or the glory or the money. It was because I wanted to make people feel good. I wanted to make people feel good about their lives, about living their lives, and inspiring them to take action on their dreams. But my parents, because they valued education very highly, they wanted me to, go on this path, the traditional path of getting good grades, go into a good college, and get a good job. And so they made sure I got really good grades by enrolling me in a lot of these like after-school daycare programs. So you guys might have heard of like Sylvan or the Princeton Review, Kumon. I went to Kumon, Elite, SAT schools. That's what I did as a kid. I just studied and I got good grades. But it soon became very overwhelming. All the education, I was studying all the time. And at this point, I didn't really have that many friends. I just wanted to be cool. I wanted to be popular. I wanted to be one of the boys. Right? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? So, in high school, I actually got sent to a private school. It's a private boarding school called Webb. I'm in Claremont. And it wasn't that I didn't like the school. I actually really loved it, but my parents didn't even ask me if I wanted to go. They just said, you're going. And so I wanted to be cool. I was like, this is a fresh start for me. So I went in my freshman year with a cool haircut, cool headphones backwards, my cool Hawaiian necklace, because that's what I thought was cool. But apparently, it didn't really work. It didn't really work, because it wasn't that I got picked on or bullied or anything like that. It was more like I was invisible. People didn't notice me. They didn't see me. The girls didn't notice me. The popular guys, on the varsity football team, they didn't notice me. And so I vowed to change my image. And that following year, I cut my hair, dyed it, grew like 4 inches. Ended up looking something like that. My eyes got smaller. I don't know how. But it kind of worked. It kind of worked, because that was my first female friend. She was my best friend at the time, Olivia. She would call me, she'd write me, because we lived at a boarding school, so during the summers we didn't hang out, but she'd always call and write. And back then it was AIM. Back then we had AIM. I don't, you guys don't even know what AIM is. Before Facebook, before Instagram, before all of that. And this summer, or actually this year, I also met a girl by the name of Sarah Lowe. And we started, That's why, we started dating. And it was really, she was my first real love, right? She was my second girlfriend, first real love. And I had this plan that we were gonna date for a couple of years, we're gonna go to the same college, and then we're gonna graduate and get married and raise a family. That was like the idea. Sarah had a different plan. See, that summer of 1999, she calls me, right, and she goes, hey John, I think we should go on a break. And I go, okay. You want to go to movies, or you want to go on a movie break or a beach break? What break do you want to go on? And she's like, no. You're not hearing me, John. I lost my feelings for you. They're not there. And I don't know if you guys have experienced this yet. It's one of the worst feelings in the world. My heart sank. First time I felt heartbreak. And I've never dealt with emotions before, because I was always taught how to solve problems. I'm good at math. I can do calculus. I can write a narrative, descriptive essay very easily. But I didn't know how to deal with this emotion. And I didn't eat, I didn't sleep for a week straight. And so I just stopped caring. I just really stopped caring. I was like, why am I studying? What am I doing? I stopped caring. And eventually, my grades started to drop. I started getting in trouble at school. I started to get suspended from school. I was leaving campus when I shouldn't have been. And eventually, I just ended up convincing my parents. I said, Mom, Dad, just let me go to a public school. I'll be fine. Let me go to the public school. And they did. And when I did, I started going to these raves, outdoor parties, loud music, lots of drugs, no age limit. Perfect for a 16-year-old rebel like myself. I got involved with drugs, started experimenting, started selling drugs, started making money, making a lot of money. Now I was cool, I was popular, I had friends, and I even ended up joining a gang. Now the reason I joined a gang wasn't because I wanted to be cool. Well, kind of. But the truth is, I joined this gang because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to belong. I wanted to feel accepted. I mean, isn't that what we all want? Aren't we all here just to be part of something? Part of a group, to belong in a community? That's what I wanted, and these guys, they were the ones that accepted me. You know, at first it started, it started off slow. Like we get into a few fights, a small group, got in a few fights here and there. But eventually the violence escalated very quickly, right? Because it started with fist fights first, right? And that was fine. But then it escalated to knife fights. Knife fights. People were getting stabbed. No, I'm serious. I mean, people would get stabbed. I had a friend get stabbed one time so bad, his intestines were falling out. All right, and then the guns came out. People started shooting at us. We started shooting back. Before you knew it, the police, all of us had our houses raided. And the police raided our house and we all got arrested. And you want to know what the worst part is about my house getting raided? The worst part wasn't when I peeked out my window and see the cops, their guns drawn, creeping up my driveway. It wasn't even when the cops were banging on my door, screaming, "Open up, we got a search warrant." It wasn't when they were in my room, tearing up my room, searching for drugs and weapons. No, the worst part was at 6:30 in the morning. I walked upstairs into my parents' bedroom, woke my parents up, put my parents, my mom and my dad, in handcuffs, and walked them down, and sat them next to me, and I knew when I saw my parents in handcuffs, I knew that this is not the life for me. This is not what I wanted. These are the choices I made, but this is not what I wanted. So I tried to do better. I got out. I got very lucky. I was facing over 15 years in prison at the time. I got lucky. Some community service, had a good lawyer. It was fine. But I didn't learn my lesson. You see, I tried to get a job, but I had a felony now. Nobody would hire me. In fact, I did get a job, and then they fired me because they found out I had a felony. So what did I do? I ended up doing the same thing. Went back to selling drugs. And you guys feel the definition of insanity is when you do the same thing expecting a different result? I was insane. Okay? I'm not gonna lie, I was insane at that time. And what happened was I got raided again. And this time I spent a few months in the county jail. LA County Jail, not a pretty place to be. Don't go there. I don't recommend anyone go there at all. Been out there, not fun. And what happened is I got out and I was like, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. No more drugs. No more drugs. Instead, I started drinking. And I started drinking a lot because it was legal for me. I was 21. I was drinking every day, not just like a little bit here and there. No, I was chugging every day. I was addicted to the alcohol. I was an alcoholic. In fact, one night I was going out, meeting up with some friends. We're going to go have a drink, have a good time. In fact, we went to this place called Good Times. It was like a Korean bar and restaurant area. And I ended up drinking so much that night. I don't even remember what happened. Well, kind of. I don't remember being there. I remember the after effect. I made the mistake of driving afterwards. And as I was driving, the only pieces I really remember here is that I wanted to call somebody. I took out my phone, dropped the phone, and I went to pick it up. And I must have swerved because as soon as I came up, I saw the center divider right in front of me. And all of a sudden it was just boom! I hit tires, wheels, feel them off the ground, flying. Then I hear like a metal crunch, like sound, right? I don't know what's going on. And then all of a sudden, whoosh! Airbags deploy, cars smoking. And I'm so grateful. It was like 2:30 in the morning. No one was there. No one was there because if someone was, they would have died. And I would have been responsible for that. But I was lucky. I got out. I was unscathed, unbruised. Nothing happened to me. My car was totaled. And I landed on the wrong side of the road, facing the wrong way, right in front of a gas station. And you know what I did? This is my state of mind back then. I got out. I ran into the gas station. The gas station clerk goes, "Are you all right? Are you all right?" And I said, "Did you see what happened?" She goes like this, she goes. I go, "Okay, no, I'm not all right, but I gotta get home. I live like 5 minutes away. Can you give me a ride home? I'll smoke you out." That's what I said. I said, I'll smoke you out. Because that was my form of payment back then. Guys, I was the biggest pothead alcoholic you can possibly think of. I don't look it now. But she drives me home, right? She takes me to the house, I smoke around, we're talking, she comes up with this brilliant idea. She says, hey, you should report your car stolen. I report my car stolen? Yeah, good idea, right? Because I didn't know any better, why not? And it was 3 or 4 in the morning. And I think she meant to call the cops the next day, right? But I wanted to take action immediately. I'm like an action taker, so I decided to call the cops on myself, at 3 or 4 in the morning. I called the cops, tell them, hey, and I made the worst lie ever. Worst lie ever. I said, hey, I was at the gas station earlier, and then I came out, and my car disappeared. Lame, right? At least do something creative, hey, I was driving down the street, and then a unicorn with wings showed up right in front of me, and it was a unique unicorn because it was striped. And then it came over and said, hey, I need your car to save the world. You'll be reimbursed by the intergalactic government. At least that would have been cooler luck. But no, I said, I went to the gas station, and my car disappeared. Long story short, the police came to my house, and I'm not a good liar, guys. I'm not a good liar. I'm just not. And I ended up confessing. I told them the truth. Ended up getting arrested again. Spent the night in the drunk tank, got a DUI. And my friend picked me up in the morning. So now there's a couple months to my next court date, right? And I'm court. All right, so I kind of know the system, I'm familiar. So I enroll in an AA program, right? That's the Alcoholics Anonymous program. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna get some recommendation letters from the counselors. I'm in college, so I have a set schedule. I want to do good. And so on the court date, judgment day, I go with my parents to the courtroom, and I remember this. And we go and we get there at 8 a.m., right? I'm wearing my khakis, my nice shirt, got my hair done, feeling good. And we get there at 8 a.m. and we wait. And we wait. And we wait. And it's not until after lunch, 2 or 3 p.m., the judge finally calls my name. I go up and I hand her, I say, hey, here's my ticket, here's my recommendation letters, here's my school, college schedule. All I'm asking for is let me stay out until the next court date so I can finish my school. And she looks at it and she goes, oh, it's all right. It's all right. And she's about to let me go. And she goes, oh, wait, you're on probation. You've got 2 felonies. I don't think I can let you go. And my dad, he stands up, he says, Your Honor, excuse me, I could give you his passport. If you guys need money, if you need a lien on the house, I'll put a lien on the house. All I'm asking you, let him stay out until he finishes his school semester. He's only got a couple months left. He's more than halfway through. Just let him finish this. And I promise, you have my word. And my father is a man of his word. He said, I'll make sure he turns himself in. And if he doesn't, I'll force him here when he's done. And I've never seen this happen before. The judge, right, she actually gets emotional. And she says, I'm sorry, Mr. Lou, I can't. He has to go in. And I say, thank you, Dad. And I walk up. And as I'm getting handcuffed by the bailiff, and he's escorting me out the room, I turn back. And I look. And all I see is my mom sitting right here, and she's crying and just weeping. My dad's trying to console her. And all I feel is guilt and shame. I don't know if you guys ever felt this, man, but feeling guilty and shameful for what you did. It's one of the worst feelings. And I remember I couldn't even look at my parents. I just had to turn away. And I walked out. Long story short, after that incident, I actually got sentenced to 2 years in prison because of my priors. I served 11 months. 11 months. Time that I could never get back. And I won't tell you what happened in there. I mean, it was crazy, to say the least. But I did learn a few things. A couple big things I learned was, well, remember that gas station clerk I was telling you about? Check this out. I asked her before she left what her name was. And she said, Precious. I thought, okay, Precious, all right, cool name, whatever. What I didn't realize until later was the last person I spoke to before I called the cops on myself ended up going to court, getting, losing 12 months of my life that I can't get back. That last person's name was Precious. And I realized time is precious. I know you guys are young, but understand that the time you spend right now is very precious. And even more precious than time, your freedom. Your freedom to be here right now, to hang out with your friends, to be with people you love. To make the choices you're able to make today, right now. To create your future, to create your life. That is precious because in here, you can't do it. You can't even make a phone call when you want. You can't say, I love you to the person. You can't even see them. You just gotta hope that they'll be there for you when you come out. And so, I don't think you'll be able to hear this. I'm going to speak this because you can't hear it. In 2007, I got out. Okay, I got out of prison. I was lost. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't think anybody would hire me. I just kind of went through the motions. And I don't know, I just went through it. I drank a little less. I didn't get high as much. Just went through the motions. And in 2008, September, I got a certificate of discharge. This is my discharge from parole. And this was huge for me because this is the first time I was out of the system in over 6 years. Now, I don't know if you guys heard this. Once you're in the system, it's really hard to get out of the system. All right, you might have heard this from other stories or whatnot, but it's very, very true. It's really hard. Okay, and I got out. And I remember like a couple months later, my mom, she asked me, she says, hey, I have a friend, Joanna, who's going to do the theta healing thing, and she says she can help you. I go, what the heck is that? Right? And she goes, I don't know, I can help. Why not go? So I said, okay, I'll go. And so I go, and I meet with this lady, Joanna, and her son, Derek. And they start talking to me about weird stuff. They talk about conscious, subconscious beliefs, like your theta waves, like you're in a dream state. It's things I don't really comprehend, right? But I'm kind of interested. I'm like, okay, tell me more. And then they start asking questions, and they get me to talk about my friend Simon, who was shot and killed in 2003. Guys, he was 15 years old. Some of you guys are already older than him. Shot and killed over nothing. An argument. Somebody shot. And I remember Derek. He says, hey, and you guys believe what you want to believe. But I felt it, and I believe it. But Derek says, hey, I think your friend's here, and he's got a message for you. What? And I sit down, and Derek's looking straight in the eye, and he says, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. And tears start flowing. And guys, I'm not a guy to just cry for no reason. I've been holding that, I hadn't cried for 15 years, and I just flowed. I just cried like a little baby. I cried for what felt like 15 minutes. It was really only 3. But after I did, you know what? I felt like 30 pounds lighter. I saw a light at the end of the tunnel. I had hope again. And so, Joanna said, hey, I have this class if you want to take it. It's this healing class. I said, sure, I'm in. And I went. And that's Joanna right here in the middle. Her son Derek's right here. And I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. And honestly, what it did for me was help me find God. It helped me find out that I was here for a bigger purpose. I was here for a bigger reason. And I continued to take more classes, and I got certified in it. But things started transforming, guys. I naturally just stopped wanting to use drugs. And I would smoke and drink every day to the point of living like I wouldn't even know what was going on. things started getting better. And then I met this beautiful young lady, Bridget, who I met her in a healing class, and she's now my wife, and we've been together for the last 6 years doing fun things, going on cruises, making fun faces. I graduated college. Got my first job on my own at the Pacific Palms Resort. This was big for me because I got this on, I was the front desk agent, you know, the person that checks people in. I'm also a double felon, so that was cool for me, right? I worked at another resort by Disneyland, and things just started going good for me, and these jobs were cool, but you know what? Something in me wanted to do something different. I wanted to work with kids. This is weird. I wanted to work with kids, you know, just like kids. Not necessarily, you know, I want to work with 4 or 5-year-olds because something about them, there was like this innocence and this purity about them that really I wanted to reconnect with. And so I applied, and you want to know what the government said? They said, no way, buddy. You're not going to work with little kids. You got 2 felons, you crazy. Right? And I said, okay. Wrote an appeal, sent it in, I didn't hear anything back. So I dove into a different passion of mine. I dove into real estate, and I had no idea what I was going to do. I just said, I'm going to do real estate, I'm going to do it. I went for it. And I was knocking on doors, I was making phone calls, I was networking with people, I was putting up signs, and for 5 months, it was just pure hard work. No income, no salary, no guarantee, no allowance, no nothing. I was able to finally close my first deal for this check for $17,000. And I believe I earned that money because I focused on what I wanted. I made the decision to go after something, I committed to it, and it manifested. It came to life. I didn't focus on what was going to stop me. I didn't say, oh, I've got a double felony, I'm not going to be able to do it. No. I didn't let anything hold me back. I said, I'm going to go for it, and I did it. Now, here's the crazy part. Check out this date. Right here is April 4th, 2013. This is April 10th, 2013. I got this from the Department of Social Services, giving me conditional exemption approval. What that means is I was approved to intern and work with children. And so I interned at a preschool. And I went from prison to preschool. And I realized, look, if I go from prison to preschool, I can go anywhere. Nothing's going to stop me. So I ended up taking some more trainings, and I realized at this training, Experts Academy, I learned that I wanted to be a speaker. I wanted to be an author, I wanted to be a coach, I wanted to help people. People just like you, with families just like yours. I want you to know that you guys can create the life that you want. And I remember my biggest dream was to speak at a TEDx event. Have you guys heard of TEDx? Yeah. It's like, okay, so you guys have heard of it. I was like, yeah, I want to speak at a TEDx event, and I want to speak in front of 100 people. That was like my biggest goal. But I didn't know how. I became frustrated. I ran out of money. I had to move out of my nice 2-bedroom apartment into a small little room, sharing a house with 2 people. You guys have brothers and sisters? You guys share a room? I grew up with a brother, but he's like 10 years older, so we didn't really share stuff. And man, sharing a house with 2 people was not cool, not fun for me. So I ended up taking some odd jobs. Where I talk about, I eat food and I taste it and I talk about it. That's a pretty cool job. Postmates, I was doing some deliveries. And I just took these jobs because I wanted to make ends meet. I wanted to get out and do something on my own. And what's crazy is, a couple months in February of 2015, my friend Richard, he says, hey, I heard you wanted to do a TEDx event. There's an audition at the TEDx Whitney High School in Cerritos. Do you want to go? I said, okay, I'll go. I auditioned. I got the part. And in April, I was able to speak at my first TEDx event. And because, once again, I made that choice. I said I wanted to do something. I did it. You guys can all make that decision. You can all make that choice. This is my friend Richard. He invited me to this Passion to Profit event where I met this man, Joel Bauer. This guy's an amazing man. He's my mentor. He's taught me about branding, marketing, positioning. And now I'm able to be speaking in front of you guys. Now I get to go to high schools and get paid to speak. I'm doing what I love. I'm earning an income. I have a great life. And I'm so blessed to be able to share this with you all. Okay, so I've been through a lot of ups and downs and all around. I've made poor choices. I've disappointed my parents many times. I've disgraced my grandfather's legacy. Him, a war hero, me, a criminal, felon. I brought shame to my family name. I've hurt a lot of people. I've done a lot of things I'm not proud of. But you know what? I also decided to make a change. You see, I didn't respect myself or my peers or my family for a long time. And when I realized that I finally had the ability to respect myself, I was able to be responsible for my actions. Responsible for my actions. And I was able to do all the things I wanted to do. Right? And I didn't give up. I just kept going. So right now, I just want you guys to think of something, okay? Do me a favor. Actually, let's take a deep breath here. I can see you guys are kind of, I got you eating a lot of sweets this morning, sugar levels. Just go ahead and take a deep breath. In and out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. All right, go ahead. Close your eyes and stay awake. All right, close your eyes, stay awake. I just want you guys to think of something that you want. Think of something that you want in your life. Maybe it's asking that girl out on a date. Maybe it's creating that business that you want. Come on, close your eyes, guys. Do me a favor. Indulge me. Maybe it's getting into the college that you want. Let me ask you guys something. I want you to just imagine this. Look at this. I want you to imagine you actually achieving the success. I want you to see that girl say, yes, I want to go to prom with you. I want you to see that employer saying, yes, you're hired. I want you to experience actually receiving that acceptance letter from that college, USC, UCLA, Harvard, MIT, Stanford, Berkeley, whatever it is that you want to go into. How do you feel? I want you to feel the joy in that. Who's with you? Who's celebrating with you? What are they saying? They're saying, congratulations. Congratulations, Adam. You got in. Okay? Now, knowing that you can achieve this, knowing that this is real for you, I want to ask you something. If you can really get the career of your dreams, the dream job, the woman of your dreams, the life of your dreams, your eyes closed, are you willing to go for it? And you can respond yes or no. Feel free to be loud right now. You guys are, it's the one time you can be as loud as you want in a room when someone's talking. Is that what you want? Would you go for it? Are you willing to do it? Yeah. Are you willing to take action? Okay, that's fine. And that's all right. It means you don't want it bad enough. What if it's the woman of your dreams? You're not willing to go for that? All right, I'm going to ask you guys one thing. One last thing here. If you are willing, I want you to tell me that you're willing to do it and that you're never going to give up. Alright, okay, let me ask you guys something. Is this an all boys school or an all girls school? It's kind of sounding like girls right now. Alright. So do you really want it? Do you guys want it or not? I'm just curious. Alright, so tell me this. Tell me your name. Just say, my name is. And I will never give up. Alright, let's hear it again. My name is. And I will never give up. Alright, guys, look, this is me. This is me. As a kid, I always wanted to speak or entertain or be an actor. I wanted to make people feel good. I wanted to let them know that they can create whatever they wanted in their life. And I almost gave up. I almost didn't graduate high school. You know, you guys are still sophomores, you might not have experienced this yet, but I got a case of senioritis. You guys know what senioritis is?
Yeah.
So I did it, right? It's the rare disease. When you become a senior, you develop this disease that causes an allergic reaction to going to class. So I got that for my whole first semester. I didn't go to class. And my second semester, the principal told me, "You're failing English." I was like, "No, I got a 60. That's a D minus. It's not failing." He goes, "No, you're failing. If you don't pass English, you're not going to walk." And I said, "Oh man, but senioritis, it's not my fault." And he said, "Well, here's the cure: commitment and dedication." And so for that whole second semester, I committed to going to class every day. I studied every day, did all the homework, participated in class, and I went from a D minus to a B plus. And not only did I get to walk in high school, I got accepted into Cal State Fullerton, which is the college I wanted to go to, but they didn't accept me at first because my GPA was too low. But after, for some reason, I did better in school, they accepted me. All right, so you're going to go through challenges. There's going to be times when people say you can or you can't do something, or you're going to run into an obstacle. But just remember, as long as you keep going, as long as you make the choice and the decision, you can get it. Because after everything, I'm here, standing before you, speaking, doing what I love. Because my name is Jonathan Liu, and I will never give up.